Healing and manifesting is about making connections between input and output, between our mental and emotional state and the actions and choices that come from it that create our physical reality. When we're not happy or satisfied with our current reality, then we have to look at our input. We can become so used to trying to create outer stability in certain ways that we don't make the input output connection. Maybe for so long, certain actions have created a sense of temporary stability for us, and we never made the connection between those actions and the long-term consequences. Like, for example, we can become used to trying to mold and shape people's perceptions of us. So in the moment, we don't have to feel vulnerable, but then we're unable to create deep connections. Or we try to please and keep others happy to maintain stability in our environment instead of creating a much stronger sense of stability independently. Or maybe we're used to reacting to situations in order to not appear weak in the moment, but then it ends up creating more discord. By relying on these tactics for temporary outer stability, we forfeit true long-lasting inner and outer stability. So much of healing and manifestation is about learning why we desire what we desire in life. Why do we make the choices we make? When we truly analyze why we desire something in the physical, it always goes back to the desire for emotional stability, to feel confident, to know our worth, to feel that we have the power to create and manifest what we desire. We often try to control our external reality to give us emotional stability, or we try to manipulate our minds into a positive state so we can manifest. The problem is that the fears and insecurities and emotional instability is still there controlling us from the shadow, and our actions will naturally come from that. Even actions as small as our tone of voice, our facial expressions, or the words that we choose. We can't control it all, even if we try. We can even attempt to control outcomes by not taking action or holding back, but every micro action or inaction is creating our reality. We have to become conscious of why things we desire aren't appearing in our lives, or why things we don't want are appearing. When we try to control our outer reality from a place of emotional instability, fear, or insecurity, we may think we're in control, but we're not. Unconscious fears are in control. Taking control of our future and our manifestations requires understanding why we've created what we've created. We need discernment. We need to know what leads to abundance and what doesn't. We need structure to give us direction. We can't just think in terms of energy. Energy is unstructured, which is the feminine, but the physical 3D world is structured, which is the masculine. The 3D world has density and form and a system of operation that governs the movement of energy into form. Manifestations must be structured, meaning when we don't like our current circumstances, we have to observe how we got here. We have to know what needs to be healed. When we heal, we shift our mental and emotional state so that we take action that is more aligned with our desired reality. Thought alone doesn't pull this in. Thought must turn into some kind of action in the physical. Manifestation of what we desire is easy when there are no blockages of fear, insecurity, disempowerment, or lack of confidence, causing us to make choices opposite of what we desire. It's natural to create abundance. We naturally act from a place of empowerment, and one day the earth will evolve to a point where enough of this is resolved that manifestation becomes easier. But right now the earth is dense and heavy. It's our job to push through the heaviness, to make a way, to make a path for the future, so that one day the earth doesn't have to be so harsh and difficult. In order to create a world where peace, joy, and harmony are the norm, all things that oppose it must be done away with.